Welcome to Boys in the Berg, the podcast all about Pittsburgh, these boys, and after talking to Rick Seebeck last week, the history.
Oh man, what an amazing episode that was. I am so happy we got to do that.
Yeah, I'm Chris Speranza,
I'm JJ Speranza.
and today we're talking about Greensburg, but something I just wanted to talk about prior to Greensburg happening is the thanks for having Rick Seebeck on the show, and also the thanks for the listens and the new followers that we got from it. It's pretty wild. I was very amazed about the impact of that episode, and I was so happy. Rick is everything as you imagine and as everything that you hear. Like, he is fantastic.
He's just a delightful human. Like, just so much. His aura is so amazing. And having him on here was like a dream of mine. And it was just kind of a shot in the dark of just reaching out and saying, dude, you're like one of our heroes when it comes to Pittsburgh. And we'd love to talk to you. And like, thank you everybody for joining, for listening, for enjoying with us. Like, we don't know how to thank you enough.
And to all the new listeners that are here, thank you for joining us. And
Hi.
I hope you enjoy the history of Eastern Pittsburgh and Greensburg.
Yep, that's our episode today, and we are excited to bring it to you.
And how do we come to wanting to talk about Greensburg in particular?
How did we?
Yeah.
We have a big list of all the different things we want to talk about. And Greensburg, man, we have so much history with this. And so like I feel like us talking about it, we can talk about our personal history of the city. Like there's just so much to talk about. We may even need to break this up into 2 episodes if we really start getting into it, because there's just so much to get over.
That's what I thought about, because I started making notes about the episode 5 minutes ago. And I was like, it was actually super easy to come up with a bunch of notes, because we do have to give people background. I went to University of Pittsburgh at Greensburg. That's where the cool kids go. And JJ went to the university, Seton Hill University.
Yeah, say it right.
I will say it right. I will put respect on that name.
Yeah, and then my wife's best friend went to St. Vincent College, which is right outside of Greensburg.
And let's just say it how it is. What did you go to school to study?
I went to school initially for accounting, and then realized I am terrible with numbers. So I switched over to business management, entrepreneurship, and I minored in accounting.
Lame. So I
and here I am working in nutrition as a DTR.
Yeah, let's say that. So you are now a dietitian.
I'm a dietetic technician, and I'm also a certified dietary manager. So like anything with nutrition that's not registered dietitians, what I am right now.
Yeah. And so I went to school for communications, which is even more lame, and a minor in education, which is the lamest. So basically now I work in the automotive industry as a tire salesman. So,
you're just finding your way. That's all. I'm 33, and it took me till the age of 29, 30 to go back to school to be a DTR. And now I'm working in my dream job at Onslow County WIC doing nutrition counseling. It took a long time to get here.
Yeah, I know. But who knows? Maybe I am happy. As I tell the people I work with, I'm just good at serving smiles.
Oh, you tell them that? Fantastic.
Yeah. So what were some things that you did at Seton Hill that involved the town of Greensburg? Or how about let's back it up for a second. What are some history facts about Greensburg that you most likely wrote down?
Oh, I got a lot of them. Are you ready for how awesome the history of Greensburg really is?
Yes, go ahead.
So it was named after Nathaniel Greene, a Quaker who was one of George Washington's most talented and dependable officers, most known for fighting from 1778 to 1781 in Virginia, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina.
It's always some sort of North Carolina callback. In every
There's
single one of these episodes, you're just like, "Yeah, I've been to Randy Land, and Randy Land is actually formed in North Carolina." It's like I don't even know if Randy Land knows who Randy Land is.
I mean, if you think about it, North Carolina was first in freedom. They were the first ones to sign up for like separating from England. And where was everything signed but Philadelphia, Pennsylvania? So there's just a lot of history between the two states that, Virginia and Maryland just kind of get in the way between them. But really, the two states have a lot of the same shared history. So Greensburg was once called Newtown, which now that Newtown is the Greensburg's business district at the intersection of Pittsburgh and Main Street.
Okay, I got you.
So that used to be, it was on the wagon trail that went from Philadelphia to Fort Pitt in Pittsburgh, and that's where Greensburg came from.
Now let's also talk about Greensburg is so far from Pittsburgh. Like it is about maybe 45 minutes to an hour.
It sure is, but it was the cleanest trail through the Appalachian Mountains to get to Fort Pitt.
Mm, I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and as everyone, I don't know if everyone knows this or not, Greensburg is the county seat of Westmoreland County.
Yep.
It became that in 1799. And then, as Chris and I talked about the colleges, Seton Hill opened in 1918 as an all women's 4-year institute, later turned to co ed in the, I think, 80s or 90s. Then I'm sorry, University of Pittsburgh at Greensburg opened in 1963.
Yeah, it's a fairly new school if you really think about it in terms of that.
It really is, which it's amazing how much of a difference that school being there has been, and then University of Pittsburgh. So all the colleges also work together with the Westmoreland Museum of American Art, which opened in 2015. And that museum is what Greensburg is most famous for now because it's an extension of Westmoreland Museum of Art from 1959.
Yeah. But so we had to back that up for a second. The Westmoreland Museum of Art, that museum actually like they had the first edition, which was 19 whatever you said, 1959 you said?
And then the new one opened in 2015.
Yeah, because they had to move the museum, no kidding, in like an abandoned furniture store.
That's right.
It was right in Latrobe, like right. I see your cat in the background.
Yeah, I was just like, "What the hell's behind me?"
I was like talking to you, and I'm like, are those ears?
They're not my
Listeners
ears.
can't see, but that's fine. So yeah, it was in a furniture store. If you're going Route 30, go past the mall and everything, and it's right by like the Mountain View Hotel or something like that. And there was a building there that they had all the art in, and the new museum now. We could do a whole episode on it
Oh yeah.
because they do so many events there, and the events in Greensburg is crazy. There's just so much to talk about, but I want to get to your history portion since we're starting to find our niche as a Pittsburgh history place.
We got to put that on our description.
I already did.
But oh, you did. It's cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sarah Hunter, who is a friend of ours who is a huge into the art scene, and she actually works. I believe she works for or with the American Art Museum in Greensburg. So her art is always just fantastic to look at. But yeah, you're right. Diving back a little bit into the history. So, do you know where Little E's Pizza is?
Yes, it is kind of like on the way to Pitt Greensburg if you're driving through downtown Greensburg.
Yes. So from that part of town all the way up to uh like Pittsburgh Street, like East Pittsburgh Street where downtown is at,
Uh-huh.
that is all it was considered the 8th ward, and that is where a lot of the Italian immigrants moved over. They came from, I'm going to butcher this, but Circe Maggiore,
Okay.
right outside Naples, which is why there's such an Italian presence in Greensburg because a lot of the immigrants came over, lived in the 8th ward and renamed it Paradise.
That I didn't know that. That's actually crazy.
Right? I was perplexed by that. 8th Ward was originally home to many Italian immigrants. Today, the original Our Lady of Grace Church, built by the Masons from Italy, still stands, although it's used as a residence now.
Our Lady of Grace. I'm trying to think where that's at.
I googled it, and it's like right in the middle of that 8th Ward, I believe.
Okay, that's really interesting about like that many Italians being in Greensburg because of that reason.
Yeah, I mean, there are Speranzos, I think. Like, they have our last name, but there's, like, a letter changed because 'cause we're also from around the Naples area, and that's where we have a lot of, like, ancestors of sort that moved to Greensburg.
Hmm. Yeah, no, that makes sense. So yeah, any other history stuff?
Not like, that was pretty much, like, the base of it. I do have a lot of information about the Palace Theater, but we'll get into that later.
Oh, don't worry. I'll move on to the Palace Theater. But real quick, I guess I'll talk about the Westmoreland Museum of Art.
Please,
So
yeah.
this is not your museum where you go in and there's uh dinosaur bones. Like that's like more not an art museum. That's more of like a history and
Natural history.
natural history museum. So like that's what I thought when I was going to Westmoreland, the Westmoreland Museum for the first time. I'm like, sweet, this is gonna be awesome. There's gonna be dinosaur bones, and you go
Nope.
in there and they're just like benches, and you're like, what am I looking at? They're like art. It's in front of you. Interpret it.
Why is there a banana duct taped to the ceiling?
But eventually, as I've gone older, when I was younger, I do have a funny story. When I was younger and I went to the museum one time, it was Carissa and I, my wife, and but we were dating at the time because we were in college. And I was one of those kids that had my keys on a lanyard. And what I did was I thought I was cool, started like walking around the museum, and I started swinging my keys without even thinking about it
Oh, no.
because when you get into a habit of doing something, you just do it just to do it.
It's the OG fidget spinner.
It is the OG fidget spinner. And right away, I was stopped right away. And I'm not a rule breaker. And I didn't even know I was breaking the rules. I was like, oh, crap. I'm breaking the rules.
That story could have gone so much different. It could have been like, "I let go of it and I shattered a, art exhibit, but it's okay. It only cost me $50,000."
Have you been to the art museum since?
I've been there once for an art show for Sarah, but I haven't actually been, like, into the museum.
Now, there's a part for people who don't know where it's like a lookout. And they built this on purpose. And except for the fact the sun shines in directly into all the artwork that can sun fade it. And they have little blinds that come down that like shade the sun. But it's a pretty cool view. I really like it.
What does it look out over?
Greensburg.
Oh, cool, like the downtown, like,
Yeah.
Greensburg area?
Yeah. 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 It looks over like the courthouse and everything like that. So it's really neat to look at.
That's so cool. I really I want to come up there and just spend a day, go to the museum, just spend time in downtown Greensburg again because, like, it's just a neat place to hang out at too.
It is. Okay, this could go back to what I was originally asking you. When you were at Seton Hill, was there any like things that you did in the downtown Greensburg area to like kill time or the shootle? Did you take the shootle anywhere?
I did not because I was a commuter, so I had my car with me, so I would just hop in the car if I wanted to go somewhere. My buddies and I, like, we would I guess during classes, mine were all so close together and I had a job. So I would like go to class, like take a nap, like chill for a little bit, go to another class, and then go to Chili's to work where I was like, waiting, doing stuff like that. But at night, we would go to Rialto's, which had like a little dance club in the back.
Rest in peace, Rialtos.
Rest in peace. And there was another dance club behind Rialto's, behind that outdoor area. So that was a cool place. We'd go to Mr. Toad's, which is a cool little like it's almost like a hipster bar now, I'm assuming?
Nope, it's still an old school bar. Like you go in there, you can still like buy cigarettes out of like the cigarette machine,
So cool.
and and it's you can still smoke in there, but they have food in there and everything like that. Like it so I have myself separated for what is old Greensburg and what is like new Greensburg.
Oh, that's
And
good.
and so old Greensburg is like Mr. Toad's, Badges, if you've ever been in there, which is like another bar that's like kind of themed to like firefighters and everything like that. And
Great drink specials.
and Scooby's, which
Scooby's Wings.
Scooby's Wings, which is technically like it's not called Scooby's, but it's like somewhere the building right next to it, Dagwoods. Uh,
Dagwoods.
Dagwood's wings are incredible, and we made a list a long time ago that I thought they had the second best wings to Colonial Grill and Irwin, but now I'm having second thoughts when I went to Colonial Grill the other day.
Oh, were they bad?
They were just really salty.
Well, you're also in your 30s. Sorry, brother. It happens.
So that's like old Greensburg to me. And now this new Greensburg is like there's a Yellow Bridges right there on, I believe it's Pittsburgh Street, which is a bar, which is a brewery. This is the breweries are the new thing, JJ.
I
Breweries
know.
are
I have like
everywhere.
1,000 down here.
Yeah, the breweries is how you degentrify a place. Is that what it's called?
That's how you gentrify by going, well, if you want a
Gentrify.
beer, it's like $9 for a pint. So if you can't afford that, go down the street to Mr. Toad's.
A way to gentrify is adding a bunch of breweries and high end apartments. Uh, Greensburg has not got to the high end apartment section yet, but they definitely have breweries. Yellow Bridges, which is a brewery that originally started in Delmont, and this is their second location, and they have very good pizza. So the Rialtos, they used to have a chicken parm dinner special, which was amazing.
Oh, so good. The food there was amazing.
Yes, it's gone now,
It
obviously.
is. It's
There's a
a
bunch of stuff that happened. It involves gunshots. I don't know further from there. It is now known as a place called Three Stone Merchant,
oh
and it was good. I've been there before, and I had a pretty good time. And the nightclub now is actually called Invisible Man Brewing.
another brewery. Cool.
Another brewery. So Invisible Man used to be right next to Deviate, which is a random coffee place I've never been to. Uh,
Hmm.
in that section. But then they ended up moving to that nightclub area, which in all of reality is a fantastic location because next to the Palace Theater.
Oh, it's great. And I feel like that stretch has some great. Isn't Sundog Cafe there? Or no, not Sundog. White Rabbit Cafe is right near there too.
Yes, White Rabbit Cafe is near there too. I've only been there like 2 or 3 times before I started getting bougie with my coffee because the coffee, did I tell you the coffee that I get at Starbucks?
First off, you go to Starbucks.
Yes, I do go to Starbucks. I've learned to enjoy it.
Okay, well, go ahead. Tell us your coffee order.
It is a grande, which is the medium, grande pistachio cold foam cold brew with light ice.
That's impressive. I mean, I have no reason to judge. I gave up caffeine for Lent, and I've actually, my blood pressure is almost like near perfect. It's like 126 over like 70, which is 75, which is like really good. It was like 160 over 91 when I was drinking caffeine. So I drink a nice chamomile tea every day.
Yeah, I don't drink this Starbucks every single day. I like, it's a treat for me. Like,
Oh, okay.
it's a treat if I'm going to Target or something. Like, I realize I can't go into like a Target with my wife without having a drink in my hand because it gives me something to do.
I feel that. I do feel that.
So Three Stone Merchant and Invisible Man. However, I have to tell you about a night at Invisible Man that I had. Uh, Carissa wanted my wife wanted to go to an event there one night, and it was a Taylor Swift night. So
Oh, I forgot about this.
so you go there, and they have Taylor Swift music playing, and that's pretty much the whole night. That's the whole gimmick. And I was like, okay, well, I'll go. Why not? And the amount of screaming music of just like the sigh that everyone made when the first chord to All Too Well played. Everyone just going, "Oh, I hate men." I'm like, "Oh no.
I'm gonna get COVID and beat up.
I got to hide." But I had a good time. I'm not going to lie. It was very fun watching a collective group of people all there for one thing, all singing crazy loud.
Was it the silent disco thing where they had headphones on?
I've never been to a silent disco. So
Oh, okay, okay.
this was not a silent disco. This was the opposite of that. This was a loud disco.
This was a regular disco.
So the Taylor Swift night was fun. Invisible Man, they have really good beers there. Yellow Bridges, I gotta give a shout out to their beers too. They have good beers. I can't name anyone in particular, but uh, I'm more. We'll do an episode on Irwin because I go to a place called New Crescent in Irwin, and
Ooh, okay.
they have excellent beer.
Do you know who has really good beer in the Greensburg area? Is a little place called the Headkeeper.
Oh my goodness, I forgot about that.
Yeah, the Headkeeper is a tapas, 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 not the other tapas. It is a tapas bar, and they have the whole restaurant is lined with coolers, and it just has beer from all around the country, around the world, and it is like you can get any beer you want there, and the food is incredible.
I remember going there, and I did an. This is actually something very fun to know about me. I did an internship down there for the Greensburg. Uh, what is it
At
called?
Headkeeper?
No, 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 not Headkeeper. It's called GCDC, Greensburg Community Development Corporation. That's what it
Oh,
was called. And I basically did the marketing. I was a marketing intern. And I just made like dumb flyers that like my supervisor was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I don't care. That's good." And uh, I did that, and basically he gave me a gift card at the end of my internship, and it was a $50 gift card for Headkeepers.
oh,
And I was like, "Oh my god!" And I'm a college student. I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna get so much food because $50 for like a y- I
yeah.
you,
For a regular restaurant,
I
it's
feel
like
like you know where I'm going with this. I
now.
got like
For those who don't know, tapas is not only expensive, but it's like portions that you're supposed to share.
yeah. So I get like a beer and two tapas plates, and I think Carissa got a beer too, and it was like $60. Like I'm like, my gift card is gone.
That sounds about right.
I was like, "You gotta be kidding me." And, but whatever. I haven't been back there since, but, uh, I don't know. I'm not a fan of eating small things at an expensive price.
That is fair, and that is why they have Permane Brothers.
Is that considered downtown Greensburg?
Well, I is that part of New Greensburg? Like that stretch where it's like Permane's into the mall area?
I don't consider that downtown Greensburg. I consider downtown Greensburg from, the bowling alley, which is, like, more of, like, South Main Street, all the way to, like, uh, where the Seton Hill, like, dance school or whatever is at. Like their new building.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
Yeah, which I've never been into. I think I like snuck into the theater once. Not sneak in there. They had a show happening. I just like walked in and was like, "This is cool." Like
You sauntered.
I sauntered, yes. But that's why I consider Greensburg. From like I want to say if you're going down Main Street from St. Clair Park, which is also Summer Sounds, that's another
Oh,
fun
yeah.
thing to talk about. And from down past at like Advance Auto Parts and Shop and Save, I I might be mean for saying this, but I feel like that's a different breed of Greensburg people, like
Well,
country.
you know what? I agree with that. You definitely get a different feel because it's not gentrified as we've talked about.
It is not gentrified. Like there used to be a bar that was open down there called Smitty's.
Schmitty's.
Yeah,
I
Smitty's.
remember Schmitty's.
And there was an Ace Hardware down there too, and it's now a brewery also. I just gotta find out what it's called because they had like a German night and it was awesome. And uh, yeah, I just consider that like old Greensburg because it's just I don't know. Like I used to work at that Advanced Auto Parts, and like the people that like would go in there would just like I need an alternator, like one of those people.
It's like so that stretch, whenever I was living in Greensburg, I lived with my best friend Alex, and we lived over by Hannistown Golf Course. And you had a direct connection to the Sheets that was on that side of Greensburg, like toward downtown area. You had a direct connection to Scooby's, And then that stretch was super easy to get to where you had like Fortune Cookie, there was that little pizza shop, Pizza Sienna, like all that old Greensburg stuff was like very accessible. So that is what I think of when I think of like college in Greensburg. Cause like Seton Hill was great, but I didn't spend my time there. I went there for school. I was a homebody. I like to come home and like kind of go from there.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find the bar. I think it is.
Also, Seabase is there.
Seabase is there. I went there for my birthday one time
Yeah.
because
And
they
you were
had,
22.
yes, and they had laser tag, and I didn't care. I did
We were
not
all
care.
there for that.
I did not care one. Stonebridge Brewing. That's what the place is called.
Oh, Stonebridge. Okay.
Hmm. Stonebridge Brewing, which has a very weird parking situation, but has a parking situation, which is good.
Yes. Definitely a good thing.
Yeah. I'm just going through the map, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm gonna be all over the place. There's a cat there's a cat cafe called Catfinated.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's a new one.
I've never been in there.
Let's talk about Robocchio, which is a really good hibachi place, was designed by a really local, well, it was designed by a local architect in Blairsville, I believe. But Robocchio, that's some good hibachi right there. That's like, it's just good stuff.
I love the inside. Like you go in there and there's like a dragon in there right away as soon as you walk in.
Right?
And you just I don't know. I like it. I like hibachi people. They're fun. They have a good time. They like their art. And during COVID, or I think they still do it now, they do like takeout hibachi.
Oh,
So
yeah, they still do.
for like $15, you can just go, you can just get the hibachi that you want, and then just be on your way.
You know who else does that?
Oh,
Our brother's favorite place on this planet Earth, New City Buffet.
oh yeah.
Man, New City Buffet was it is I haven't been there in forever, but I hear it's still amazing. It was Old Country Buffet in the
Yeah,
past.
I find it funny that it was called the Old Country Buffet, which for people who don't know, the Old Country Buffet used to be by the mall, and it was like connected to the strip, like outside of the mall.
Mhm.
And it was just a restaurant that had about every single comfort food you can think of, like chicken, cornbread, mashed potatoes,
Fresh cut roast beef.
roast beef, ice cream, uh, just everything. And then old old country buffet closed down and made room for New City Buffet,
Mhm.
which is a Chinese buffet style place.
Yep.
And they got I haven't been there in a while, and I actually talked about this. I'm like, I haven't been to a Chinese buffet in a long time.
There you go, dude. You gotta go back. You gotta bring our brother with you, Nick.
Yes, I want to do that.
But I actually I have a whole list of restaurants that like when I think of Greensburg, these are places that I like. When I think of Greensburg, I want to go to these places again. Like Joey O's Pizza.
Yeah.
It's a very thin crust, very sweet sauce. The cheese is like pounded on there, and it is like it's so good. Oh man, it's so unique for a pizza place.
Yeah, it is. And it's been a long time since I've had that. Uh, what other places?
Somewhere like on the other side of Greensburg, I'm talking like over by Home Depot, like that side of Greensburg, because Greensburg's massive. This is just one side of it. There's a King's, one of the last Kings left,
The Last Kings. Hmm.
which is a Pittsburgh diner.
Do they still have what was it called? The brownie thing, the sad brownie,
The Frowny.
the frowny brownie.
They sure do. I don't think it's their mascot like it used to be, but they definitely still got it.
That was like the before all the other kings closed. They just made the frowny brownie. We're just like, you better get us out of debt.
That was to compete with the Eaton Park Smiley Cookie.
What a Yinzer mob related thing.
A frowning brownie, a browning frowny.
I do kind of want to take it back to downtown Greensburg real
Hmm.
quick.
Yes.
They have really, and I've talked about this for like a long time when I was in college, because when I was in college, you would walk through downtown Greensburg and be like, there is nothing to do. And now the events they have, the Summer Sounds, which is uber popular, um, the Westmoreland Museum of Art, where they do their events. But the thing that has been hitting the hardest and been growing the most popular is an event you have not gone to yet, which is called the Thursday night markets.
Is it a wait. Is it a farmer's market or is it a vendor's market?
It's like a combination of both.
Oh, that's amazing.
So
Good for them.
every Thursday excuse me, every third Thursday, during the summer months, during on Pennsylvania Avenue, they will set up vendors. They'll have live music. You could walk around with beer.
I think every single city should have something like that. That is so support your local vendors, y'all. Support your local vendors.
And downtown Irwin does something similar. They'll do like jazz in the streets or whatever. And like, but the fact that Greensburg is so huge, the fact that like knowing my wife who works for the courthouse, that you don't realize how many people work in that courthouse. Like people that could just leave and on before they get home, just say like, "Hey, I'm just gonna stop at the market real quick," and just walk around there.
There's a reason why Greensburg was voted one of the best places to live in Westmoreland County, and I think in Western Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I believe that. So I think what really made downtown Greensburg stand out for me is I want to believe I'm a city person, but I'm not. Like if I had to live in downtown Pittsburgh, I'd probably lose my mind. But like Greensburg, and I remember this is a slogan I created during my internship. I I was like, it's like big city feel with like small town, big city feel, like something like that.
Yeah, and it's so true. Like it's a close knit community. It's one of those towns where everyone knows everybody, but at the same time, it's big. Like you can get lost just traveling around downtown Greensburg, getting outside of Greensburg, just like you talked about. There's so many different parts of Greensburg.
All the one ways,
Oh my god, too many. It's worse than Pitt, Oakland.
all the one ways. Like I remember I worked in the strip district in downtown Pittsburgh, and people would go the opposite way on Penn Avenue all the time.
So bad.
And it's exactly like that in downtown Greensburg. People will go up Pittsburgh Street and just be like, "Oh no, I'm going the wrong way." It's like, I don't know what to tell you. You're done.
Like, go back to Pittsburgh. We do have a pretty deep. Well, actually, you do in particular because you've lived so many different places in Greensburg. But as far as like our memories go, I think the furthest back we go is back to the Lynchfield Water Park over on the east side. No, yeah, east side of Greensburg.
Yes, where we would go to Scooby's as children.
We would not go to
We
Scooby's.
would not go to Scooby's as children. That's a very good catch, JJ. That's a very good catch. Like that is one of the places I thought it was cool because it had a little mushroom, but it was a plate. It was a splash pad
Yep.
essentially, and it had a little mushroom, and just water came off it. And then they had a giant pool, but they had a slide and a diving board.
They had a little snack shop, which we could never go because we were too broke back in those days. But they had a little snack shop. We used to pack our own lunches. We would just sit out there, eat lunch, and go swimming. It was so much fun.
Were we broke or were we financially thinking better?
Probably financially thinking better
I would say so.
because what was a loaf of bread back then? 15 cents.
Yeah. Thanks, tariffs.
He said tariffs. Everybody.
Tariffs. That's right. But yeah, I think we were financially thinking better. I think if I had kids, I'd do the same thing. Like when I went to
Oh,
Disney
yeah.
World, we packed like sandwiches in our backpack, but in the Orlando heat, it gets a little melty.
We did that in Washington D.C. We packed a lunch. We packed everything in our backpacks, and we didn't stop. We walked around all day and just ate our sandwiches. So I mean, it's a good way to do it. It was a great way to have great memories as kids. We would go home and relax after being in the sun all day. But like Lynchfield, I used to go to their gym every single day when I was living down there because their gym was really cool. Like back when I was in college. So super big memories there.
Actually, I got another fun memory. So, for people who don't know, I did professional wrestling back in the days as Lewis the Nerd.
You did?
I did, yes. And what happened was when I went to an open house, essentially, like they said that here's our tryout. You have to run a mile, do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and 150 squats. And I was living in Greensburg at the time, so after work, almost every single day, I would go to Lynchfield and I'd go to that little like running track area,
Oh, yeah.
like around the soccer field. And I would run a mile. Then after I would do that, I would go to like where in the grass, like literally drop into the grass and do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and 150 squats.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Dang, okay.
I mean, not all in a row. Like I would do like I'd break it up, be like 20, 20, 25, like stuff like that. Now if I try,
You could probably do it, you're just gonna feel it.
yeah, I can probably do it. I'm just gonna feel it really bad.
That park, it was such a little part of Greensburg. Like, I feel that way about Twin Lakes too. Like, just a little part of Greensburg, but a beautiful place just to like have memories and walk around and go to the 4th of July celebration.
Mm. Oh, I'd absolutely had that too. Like Twin Lakes, and I've never gone there not during the 4th of July celebration. And
I
I
have.
feel like
It's
I
really
want
nice.
to because they have a not a roller rink, but like deck hockey.
What?
Yeah, there's a deck hockey rink somewhere.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's huge. Like it's ginormous. And
I just used to go there and walk around.
I want to go there and just Chris and I we really want to get into kayaking. So I don't know if you could kayak up there, but like I want to find a place to kayak.
There's a ton of places in Western Pennsylvania to kayak. You will talk to our brother because he knows all the ins and outs of kayaking.
Yeah. So yeah, you made me think about that. What else do I have notes wise? So there's an escape room there also.
Oh, and quintessential to any city.
Yes, there's an escape room, and the only reason why I found the escape room is because for our younger brother's wedding, for we went to a dance studio to learn how to like dance, I guess.
It was one of the few times I was like, "Oh, guys, I'm sorry. I live out of state. I can't come in for that."
And that's where I found out like the dance studio in this building was on the third floor, and the escape room was in the basement. And I'm like, oh, I should just ditch this right now and just go to the escape room.
You do love a good escape room, don't you?
No, because I hate being challenged.
Oh my god.
But I like doing it with other people who are smarter than me.
Outstanding. I've only ever done like one, and it was in West Virginia, but that's really cool that Greensburg has one. What else with Greensburg? I did have Overly's Christmas. I don't want to get into it. I just want to tell you it's a great place to check out for Christmas time. It's in the Greensburg area.
That's not downtown Greensburg. That is more of like in the country of Greensburg because near like Overly's Christmas, they also hold like the Westmoreland County Fair out there, which I've been
Oh
to
yeah.
one time and can't really tell you what happened. I went there super late and they're like, "You got an hour." I'm like, "Okay," and
I'll get my corn dog.
got my funnel cake and I left.
Well, as we both know, they didn't have the potato patch French fries, which is number one in our book. So too bad.
Yep, exactly. So what else about Greensburg?
There, Chris, we can't do this episode without talking about the hookah bar and our band.
We had a band called Three
Relay.
Way Street, and we just played. Now that I think about it, too much random music. It was not niche down. It was just like Johnny Cash with distortion.
Pretty much. We played everything from Nickelback to like uh,
Elvis.
Elvis, yeah, Johnny Be Good, like a whole bunch of different music.
And there used to be a hookah bar up there, to which still to this day in my phone, I have a guy in my phone named Hookah Nick still in my phone.
Hookah Nick.
And he was basically the booker in a way, or like owned the business.
Mhm.
And hookahing was cool back in the days, but until we found out about alcohol, and you would go there and you would a hookah. Here's how I could describe it. If you've ever seen Alice in Wonderland, and you've ever seen the worm smoking, that that's a hookah. Uh, this hookah is basically this store bought lamp, and you take hot metal coals. Sorry, before you put the hot metal coals in the top of the lamp, you put in this very wet tobacco, and they
Molasses flavor.
whatever this very wet stuff, molasses. They poke holes in tinfoil and they put that on top, and they take hot coals and they put it on top of that, and then how am I doing about this? How am I doing?
You're doing great. This all makes sense. To all those who've ever smoked hookah, I'm sure they agree.
And then you just take this long, long snaky pipe that's about 7 feet long,
7 feet.
and
It's
and
like a garden hose.
and there's five of them attached, and everyone smokes out of it all together.
And you listen to a band of a bunch of kids playing guitar and bass.
Now, here was my problem back in the days, because I've gone to many restaurants that had acoustic guitar players and everything. I think I was too focused on involving people when, in all of reality, uh, people don't want to be involved. Like,
They
they
just want
just want to sit there and listen to music.
to smoke their lamp.
Yes, they want to smoke their store bought lamp.
They want to. That was the. I don't have a follow up joke for that. That was so perfect.
and, and now I know that, but there are times where I've gone to bars where, like, the band is so good, you have no choice but to get involved because it's so fun.
Yeah, we were one of those bands.
I wanted to be one of those bands, but, like, I don't think we got enough experience and played enough shows, so.
We had a lot of cool experiences at that hookah bar, though. Like just hanging out there, playing. Like I feel like that was our like I don't know, dirty like band trip. Was instead of going to like bars and getting drunk and doing drugs, we would just go smoke tobacco and like play bass and guitar.
Molasses.
Oh my god, smoke the molasses.
No, the hookah bar was fun, but it would be so weird. It'd be like 10 o'clock at night, and people would be smoking hookah and drinking Monster. I'm like, if I did that now, I'd be like, no, thank you.
We were also 19 and 20 years old.
Yeah, that's true. Uh, so, anything else about Greensburg? Like, any anything about Seton Hill? Like, would you advise people to go to Seton Hill?
I would advise anybody out there to follow where they are being called to. And if that is Seton Hill, awesome. You could be a Griffin. If you want to go to Pitt Greensburg, that's great too. Um, man, just if you go to school in Greensburg, just be a part of the community. Get in there and just do something. There is so much to do in Greensburg and to be a part of. Living in Pennsylvania, that is one thing I do miss. Like really miss is being in that community in Greensburg because it's great people. It's Westmoreland County. It's very laid back. It's like an Appalachian town that you want to be a part of. So if you end up in there, if you end up going to Greensburg, just enjoy yourself.
Yeah, and I think about the same thing for, going to Pitt Greensburg. Like, they did do a lot of stuff in the community there, and I think that's one thing that's very key is community, and something I didn't think of. Now that I think about, like, the night market that they have and everything like that, that makes total sense. So the only other thing I'll note on there is, have you ever been inside the courthouse?
Yes, but
I
I don't
have
remember
too.
why. Why were you in there?
Carissa took me for a tour because she used to work there.
Oh, that's right.
So I got to go into, like, where the rotunda was and everything, and you got to look up and just see all the really cool artwork, and, like, everything's gold and the carpet's red. Like, it's pretty cool in there.
I want to say the courthouse was built in the night in 1818 something, like 1818, maybe a little bit earlier than that. Like it was the city of Greensburg was named Greensburg in 1799, so they had to have a courthouse around that time. So a lot of that stuff in there was probably like, of that era.
Yeah, and it is amazing architecture in there, and the people that are in there, I think could care less.
I'm as a government worker myself. We just kind of go in and do our jobs and go home.
No, I get it. Like once you've been exposed to something for so long, it's just like okay, that's fine. Uh,
Yeah. I did want to talk about the casino, but I think we ran out of time, so we'll have to do a whole nother episode on the casino and the mall.
mhm. Oh no, like live casino, that is a whole episode of itself. Like that is something that we will get into some other time. All I can say is about that Halloween parties, awesome.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, the Halloween party up there at the Sport and Social is fantastic.
That's cool, man. I can't wait to talk about that. I can't wait to talk about Jay Leno slipping and going to Dino's.
Poor Jay. But yeah, anything else to add?
No, thank you again for everyone listening. We again cannot say how much we appreciate everyone listening. And if you want to hear anything new, if you want to hear a topic that we haven't covered yet, let us know. Shoot us a message. We have a ton of ways to connect with us.
That's right. And also, if you are listening to us, you can listen to us. Usually, episodes released every single Wednesday on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Be sure to leave us a comment and a 5-star review. And you can also follow us, stalk us, see us. You can follow us at Boys in the Berg on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook for the latest updates and the newest episodes. So, other than that, I mean, that's all I have to say. And just want to say I've been Chris,
I've been JJ.
and we'll see Jens real soon. Okay. Stop.